beauty in music is telling the stories that we can all share in. There's so much to say about youthfulness, the spirit of it. But there's even more power in the wisdom of aging. Getting old is the point. This album, the 43rd release from Milkdrop, is for the songs you make after working a 10-hour day, for the 100 sketches you draw while holding your sick child, for the new designs you make while carrying the teething baby, for the stories you write on lunch break, the sunset photo shoots you capture on the way home, and while the children are napping, and any other second you have free to be who you were created to be. We all deserve to celebrate the soundtrack of adulthood. We're all adults here. That's what Milkdrop wrote on the Bandcamp release page for his album, We're All Adults Here, released earlier this year. It is his 43rd release. I got on the Milkdrop train kind of late. Wet Paint was my entry point, but putting this podcast together started me working backwards through his discography. And there's a lot to enjoy. 43 releases, right? But if you're looking for more after this, obviously I love Wet Paint. Crowded in a Lonely Room is another one that's speaking to me, and The Leavenworth Story is a third one I think you should check out. When it comes to Milkdrop, obviously the vibes are good, and you can play his music in the background if that's what your mood is. But one thing I love about his music specifically, and if with careful listening, there's just no one else with a flow like his. And that flow has even started to leak into my own music. Now, I'm not a rapper, but if you know the album I made with Royce, Not One Person Left Out, where I was mashing up beats I made with synthesizers and drum machines and vocal samples that Royce did. In an upcoming release and some more music I'm working on making my own vocal samples. Or you can hear this on my album Frog on the King's Head too. This comes back to Milkdrop, I swear. But you can hear, I think, Milk's flow. It started to sink in over the past few years and started to leak into the ways that I make some of my own vocal samples. So that's cool. And I mentioned that as a compliment to Milk and as an example of how deeply I've listened to his music. So I invite you to do the same. Sit back and enjoy. I'm going to press play on side one of Milkdrop's We're All Adults Here, available at daturarecords.bandcamp.com or the other streaming places if you got it. But obviously, we love Bandcamp. So here we go. Press and play on Milkdrop's We're All Adults Here, side one.
He's one of the best scientific minds we have today.
Start my mornings with my prayers and my vices. Call my coffee poets black and bold. Great Brello for the cloud of smoke. Pen the notes, turn my city sound to quotes. Been around, they haven't found me low. Writing songs strong, how the count is grown. Last couple the account is shown. Got a little money and a lot of mouse. We're watching time fly now, but got the flight plan plotted out. Been the right hand, think they forgot about how I sat at tables, I carved in the woods when their favorite artists couldn't find that spark for the push. Just never begged pardons for those parts of the look. Kept it on my hook, being that the art was the solvent for the authors to book. When the history revised in the eyes of those that revisited my climb, to find that what was vintage at the time was my vision for the drop. Got my prayers and my vices. that I never really need drums. Just as internal metronome and sweet tongue. These runs not carry a weight with stakes hard to shift. Most these authors couldn't partner lift my starter kit. Thoughts cinematic in the parts that drip. Clip for the darkness, now gone from where my garden's fixed. The left stroking when I'm left open, best to guard the kid. Thank God I'm slick with this pen on the pad. Just this art that resembles a craft. Credentials intact. Press pass checked as a text chat is set for the get back. The workflow, the best of this is worse now. The verse prone, the growing shoulders holding earth. My legacy corded verse from my forward filled with formed words. Ain't no filler on this pilgrimage to higher states. No time for sport, though even when the vinyl's warped, I'll find a break. Line the crates, I'll take a dive to redesign the gates. Keep a reader's mind, vocals cutting through like Aretha's prime. Just EQ it and move on to where the scenes are deep rooted.
Pocket, changing the glimpse, and I ain't been making nothing but pocket change since. The pocket, changing the glimpse, and I ain't been making nothing but pocket change since. That's just how it goes.
Inspiration, a provoking thought. Father's tone to target those lost on days shorter than $1 cost. Then I thought to myself, let's just write to it. Stream of conscious, no fine tuning. Just the rhymes and the time movement. Just as mind designing how the lines find the right choices. Apply poignant, whatever floats in the open air. They used to say I overshared till it was their moment out in the open when hope was scarce. Till the breakdowns made them break down all these potent layers. Not a prophet, but see my verses make prayers out of broken mirrors. See with this pen here ain't no discreet adjective. I'm elite and clean packaging, one of the best in my fleet of sweet savages. A breed breaking records to beat asterisks. Used to rhyme first and pick the beat after it. Now I'm in the pocket with a lean adequate, enough to relieve those clinging to deep mattresses. These are the practices for the sea of averages.
Any of this still means something? Do these words still have a reach? Am I out to prove what I already did? Is the impact measured in these verses? I'm elite, but what does that mean? I'm elite, but what does that mean?
Nobody cares. Still making off of validation, just know that it's rare. Cause nobody shares the thought that everything is sacred. Even being authentic means the elements are dated. Relevance is basic. They call me legend before I even ran the bases. Not to say that I didn't earn, but it's probably more fitting words. I've come to terms with it. How the glow now tends to burn different. How the verse pivots, how they know my name in the search engine. There's an archive for the times where the percentage of sure rhythms came from every page I curved when it came to list had my runs when I was first listed. Same skills, now my name is firm and how it's fermented. Still I'm fervently wordsmithing. It's just the urgency stalled. The approval point that doesn't point towards what's currently called. The parts of my heart when the currency falls. Growing in how my service is purely evolved.
Everything is muted. 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 From the outside to the inside. Everything is muted. Everything is muted.
Everything is muted. south side to the east side, everything is
Easy on the drums, steady on the horn blows. Heavy as a head when you mention where the thorns grow. Writings on the wall, whims to orchestrate the oar strokes. The sleeves aortic, one on subtle fabrics, the color palettes Bordeaux. Self-reflection, grown to know I was given the glow. Pure intent with the pen, only ever did it to show. These small town blues go to places where the mail stamp. We prevail at a rate and let the ship sail at our fate. From the fog, I've been a conduit, cause I seen them grip too tight on the flights to let God do it. Albeit, I get my reasons from the all-seeing. New look just for summer, my soul is open all seasons. These thoughts without a hell price. Every pause an open jaw for the shelf life. They say it's lucky that we made it with these cards, but even long sleeves couldn't blanket up these scars. They say it's lucky that we made it with these cards, but even long sleeves couldn't blanket up these scars. They say it's lucky. Forget the pattern, stay in pockets like loose change. Rules change, and what becomes due is how the moves pace. Working towards these brighter days, trying to stay in the light while the fuel breaks. No getting used to how we use plates. A lot of food to keep the jewels laced. The wage finally lets me take a ride. Living fast, just taking stride. Watch the clock, trying to make it for all the time that was taken by. Keeping a hard head above the waterboard. Never touched the bottle, I've been throttled by the plot, of course. Kept the sharpened sword by the door for all the calls to record. At the cost of the form, I built what the family needs. So if the tunes needed room, it's cause I had to transfer the seeds. The poems parted, the flow charted, not the hand of the lead. A new view with the hue for how we handle the leaps. It's lucky that we made it with these cards, but even long sleeves couldn't blanket up these scars. They say it's lucky that we made it with these cards, but even long sleeves couldn't blanket up these scars. They say it's lucky. Visions in my mind, you can't brim the basin. Most rappers want the vindication. To me, that's an indication the ego's check. Spirit of my city with no ethos flex. Days folded, wrote this on a week-long stretch. Restructuring the album, haven't wrote a week song yet. Should pivot, find a set of verses to reform results to the version where the glory's pulled. But kids still need to eat and the mortgages due. Due to time constraints, these rhymes had to wait until portions were brewed. Back on course, these raps are course on using resources to bloom. So if you can't see the trees from the forest, let this warm in a loop. Good morning, the coffee's pouring, thoughts floating off to a lofty orbit. Days are long, I got the moxie for it. Posture forward, depositing positive vibes on God's property, locked in the where he's plotting the lines. Maybe I should pivot. Maybe I should pull my feet from the line of scrimmage. Maybe I should find an interest that doesn't take all the time I'm in it. Maybe there's a great design for how my life's rescinded. Let me get back to these rhymes and apply the rhythm. Gotta move, pick up my feet and pivot. Gotta move, pick up my feet and pivot. Gotta move, pick up my feet and pivot.
Counterculture, get culture over the counter. Tap and swipe, add to the cart. Right inside of the browsers. Enchant and glow from the scream. Loud sounds from the announcers. Rebel rousers and doubters beat bloody from all the bouncers. Small world, it's too heavy to hold. Attempt to bear its weight, no letting it go. Carrying all of my demons, you never would know. The scars that I wear, that I've yet to expose. Only out of love could I have bore this obsession. Don't fall so hard as to ignore his protections. Explore other method, other sorts of expression. All things temporary, store them treasures in heaven. Smudged fingerprints were left on something perfect. Was made worthless, perverted, sacred vessels and cursed it. Forever nervous, seeking value, endless searches. Pressure mounts, somehow found tranquility in the sermons.
Maybe I should pivot. Maybe I should pull my feet front of line of scrimmage. Maybe I should find an interest that doesn't take all the time I'm in it. Maybe there's a great design for how my life's rescinded. Let me get back to these rhymes and apply the rhythm. Gotta move, pick up my feet and pivot. Gotta move, pick up my feet and pivot. Gotta move, pick up my feet and pivot.
In the convent of the heaven, you find peace.
Catch 'em all, feed us all.
It was in God we trust, way before the dollars were in circulation. Been playing the local circuit, rollers imperfect, perpetrated. Trying to ensure these dreams are bellowed through the halls. Getting dressed impressive just to see my fellows at the bar. Putting fists and elbows to the cause. Swinging for picket fences, still feeling pensive as a pause. Flawed, but no need to embellish who we are. Was always written in the stars. Saw the light in the tunnel, still I was driven to the fall. They say this style ain't gon' fill the pocket. I'm feeling philanthropic. I do it different. Watch how we send his feels in pocket. They want the science. I've only got burnt Bibles for the real agnostics. I say hallelujah out in front, not the stunt. I just got the balls to do it. Calling fluid, this an altar call without conversion tactic. Embalming fluid for the verses of a certain stature. No worship for idols, we send scripture out to where the earth's the flattest. Burn it all and put the urn in package. Flat rate for the past greats, we're only at the table to pass plates.
Catch 'em all, feed us all. Catch 'em all. Catch 'em all. Many things in parable say. Feed us all. Went out to sow a seed. She was scattering the seeds of the path. Birds came and
In the warm hold of your love and mine.
Had to unlearn my position. Amongst the blue, there was a blur from my condition. Seen every image as a destination. Holding moments, it was focus in need of restoration. Crowded in the room while the rest were vacant. Not a guest escaping. Kept my flaws hanging next to the vintage route. Tucked away for the winter droughts. A winter in the simple bouts. Writing sills, but when called to talk on the clock, couldn't get a sentence out. Till I sat still on the course. Made these raps too real to abort. Moved from early mornings and morning to spark. Cause the drive for glory runs only comes when the story is parked. Watch the door start spinning too close to revolve. And evolve past the rhythms that were sold in the dark. My soul on the walls, fortified by the form refined. Fortified by the form refined. Built up castle walls and never unlocked my thoughts. Use winter to rekindle what clogged my art. Took the summer's numbers to unthaw my heart. Left my falls right where they fell, next to the lead where the rest of me breathes. Had to reverse on the pivots. Take a look at what the verses were scripted. From the curse of dimensions to the curse of the Senate. From the curvature of the curtains, they're immersed in the vision. A set of eyes arrested by a search for the inner. Instance of what could unearth why I held the turf when the surface was brittled. Expanded the zoom to take new candidates standing on two aperture artists and added it for the brand while the stance was removed. Planted seeds sown at the ransom of blooms.
No longer waiting on the answers, just to transfer the loops. Back with the band to resume. Deadlines all were canceled, all the standards removed. Set the canvas to vet the vantage of truths. Told with emotion as an ample group. Fortified by the form refined.
Jesus was.